Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Homestead, Miami Speedway for the season finale for the Season 1 NRSL Mountain Dew Formula 1 Cup Series season. The Final Four was decided last week at Springfield. Now it is time to crown our champion. First, let's look through the starting lineup. On the front row is Deanna Jones and hometown boy Grayson Ace Fado. Row 2, Charles Sanford, Edwin Mendez. Row 3, one of our contenders, Caleb Hoffman and Nate Rogers. Row 4, Nick Smith and Seth Cole. And in row 5, Dylan Young and Colin Denton. So Caleb Hoffman from Tennessee, one of 3 Fords in the Final Four, starts in 5th place. Then in row 6, from New York, Johnny Gardner, starting 12th. In row 7, starting 13th, from Iowa, is Jay Barker. And then in row 9, starting 18th, one of our foreign competitors from Peru, Martin Suarez, looking to capture the championship for his home country. Looking through the rest of the field, remember hometown drivers, we have Grayson Ace Fado and Alexander Rowe. And Dylan Young lives in Florida, but is from Illinois. James Shelley has a 27-point lead over Colin Denton and Edwin Mendez for the top eliminated chaser spot. Those are the only 3 that will be fighting for that 5th place in points. Going through the rest of the points, Alex Gray 8th, Sorlin 9th, Amato 10th, Flickinger 11th, Nate Rogers 12th, Rowe 13th, Deanna Jones 14th, Philip Parker 15th, and Charles Sanford is 16th. And looking at the drivers that did not make the chase, Charles Jackson has wrapped up that top spot with a 50-point gap over Zach Rogers. And time for the command fire engines.
Are you ready? Gentlemen, start your engines!
So as we prepare for the final race, 94 laps of racing. It should be a good show, another caution-free race, hopefully. Looking at the field, as we said, Charles Jackson, 50 points over Zach Rogers for 17th in points. Adam Rogers is 19th in points, 20 points behind Zach Rogers. Dylan Young, 20th in points, 24 points back. James Qualls, 21st, 26 back of Zach Rogers. Samuel Oskin, 22nd in points. Emmanuel Hartnett, 23rd. Philip Goldberg, 24th. And John Arndt, 25th. So John Arndt, who in the beginning of the season was extremely consistent and was actually leading the points for the first good quarter first of the season, has dropped to 25th in points. He has a chance to gain up to 19th if he gets a very good finish and everybody else in front of him does poorly. But Arndt did win at Talladega, so at least they got a win on the season. As we come off of turn 4, green flag in the air for maybe the last time. It's Homestead. As they come off a turn 4, Deanna Jones will lead lap number 1. Trying to look through the list, see how many different winners we have had this season. I will count while you guys continue to watch the action as Deanna Jones and Charles Sanford battle out. Hoffman getting put almost in the middle, 3 wide by Nick Smith. So we have had 25 different winners on the season. Now Deanna Jones, one of those first 3 winners, she has not won Her only one came from Las Vegas. Right now, doing a pretty good job leading here today at Homestead. This is a late evening race, so you can expect the lights to come on as these guys progress throughout the race. The sun is setting. So Sanford sits in second. He won at Watkins Glen. Hoffman, the only driver of the Final Four to be in the championship without a win, as now Sanford looks to the inside of Deanna Jones as they come to the start-finish line. But Hoffman, your top championship contender right now in third. And Sanford checks up, and that'll allow Hoffman to get to the inside, going for the race lead. Side by side, three wide. Mendez behind in fourth. Hoffman has to lift the ton, but Hoffman, coming off a turn 4, is going to get to lead a lap tonight at Homestead. Looking at the rest of the field, Nick Smith 5th, Nate Rogers 6th, Dylan Young 7th, Sorlin 8th, Andrew Rich 9th, and a battle on back in 10th place. Holy crap, it's crazy back here. Jay Barker's in this mess in the middle. Martin Suarez is back here. There's Johnny Gardner as well, so the other 3 contenders trying to fight their way towards the front of the field as they are 4 wide in the back here. And it looks like for now they will get back to 3 wide, but Gardner stuck in the middle. Barker still on the high side, but Suarez moving to the inside. They've got a lot of work to do as Sanford now continues to fall. So does Deanna Jones, as Edwin Mendez and Caleb Hoffman take the top 2 spots. So you're almost 4 wide behind them here in this little pack back here, battling third on back to 3rd to 9th place. Tony Green in 10th. Suarez has singled it out in 11th. Jay Barker fighting hard for 13th place. And Johnny Gardner still stuck in the middle himself. It was mostly a 2-truck battle last night between... Actually, it wasn't a 2-truck battle. It was all trucks were battling pretty hard except for Edwin Mendez. Oh, and Fitzwater just went down the track, and Tyler Merkel comes straight back up. So it looks like Fitzwater and Merkel nearly got in an accident just now. Merkel actually does have some pretty decent left side damage, so he smacked the inside wall. But we stay green. That'll hurt their runs here today. There's John Arndt back at the field. Talked about this man, was leading the points at the start of the season. Slowly dropped, was hanging just outside of chase contention, and they just weren't able to get that car into the chase. So a tough break for that 48 team. Zach Rogers still trying his best to get himself accustomed to ovals. Looks like he'll probably be more of a road course ringer in years to come. But he sits here in the back of the field as Johnny Gardner, one of the best oval racers in the series this season. He's not having a good run here so far today. Jay Barker, Martin Suarez working their way now on single file, as this is a huge clump of cars right here behind Mendez and Hoffman, who have pulled away by a considerable margin. Now, it only happened once in the truck series that Zach Flickinger won a race. We have had no chase drivers win a race here, and believe it or not, one of them is in the Final Four, one of them is eliminated, but the 2 drivers that made the chase without a win are running 1-2 right now, and they are pulling away from the field. And these Cup cars don't really need draft to run fast, so if they keep battling back here for third on back, as that's Sorlin going for third on Nate Rogers, they will pull away, and there will be no catching them. Well, not that it'll be impossible, but it'll be really difficult. As Suarez and Barker have made their way to the front. Suarez up to 5th. Barker looking for what would be 6th place, but Gardner continues to fall, and they just keep fighting for 3rd. And these two are just hanging 1-2. They keep pulling away about a 10th a lap. As it appears, Tyler Merkel does have some significant damage. You see, Tringali gets to about 200. Merkel only getting to about 196, heading into the corner. So left side damage is really going to affect Tyler Merkel's race. Merkel not sure what his deal is going to be next year, and none of these guys really know what's going to happen. It's mostly the drivers that have done really well. As they're 4 wide now here, Johnny Gardner is rumored to maybe be getting a really good ride. Not sure exactly where he'll be going. Charles Jackson is all but confirmed to come back to the 11 ride. 2 wins on the season here coming late in the season will really help him out. A lot of these other guys there, future is uncertain. Andrew Rich has confirmed he'll be back in the 53 next season. Him and Zach Rogers continuing to work there in Bulldog Motorsports, trying to keep that team running. Michael Amato should be back in the 24 car. Deanna Jones, we should see her in the 54 next season. Dylan Young, Peter Sands, they're rumored to be staying with Team Penske in the 2 and the 12 respectfully. It's just a lot of these guys' futures are uncertain. Jay Barker moves up to 6, passes Sam at Oskin as Caleb Hoffman, Edwin Mendez, the now run on 5-10, wasn't so lucky to take the race lead. Gardner's down 2. And I think the 19 has some back end damage. Indeed he does. Something happened to the 19. Getting into the pit road. See Adam Rogers, Chris Dodd, and some others staying out. LJ Toledo, Philip Parker, Brock, Seth Cole, and James Qualls. Those 7 stayed out. As they come off pit road, Deanna Jones is the leader of them all. Hoffman there in the back. We're going to take a quick break and come back when this is all cycled around. Back here at Homestead, about over a third of the race away. One pit stop of maybe 2 or 3 for some of these guys. Might have to take 3 stops if they can't make it on 2. Sam at Austin is the race leader. Deanna Jones, Grayson Acevedo, Caleb Hoffman, Alex Gray, your top 5. So Hoffman, the top contender still after pit road. As you look back in the field, Martin Suarez sits in 10th place. He is in range a decent amount. However, the same cannot be said for the 6th team of Jay Barker. They have lost a ton of time and have fallen all the way to 31st place. And Johnny Gardner still way back in the field. So right now, mostly down to the 14 and the 22. If you've noticed, Edwin Mendez has fallen from the top 10. He's down to 19th place. So pit stops, pit crews, some messing up, some nailing it, has really affected the order of this race. You see Joshua Sekuli and James Shelley up in the top 10, running 6th and 7th. But Suarez still with a chance here as these guys battle up in front of him. But Austin is the race leader as they catch the slow car of Tyler Merkel. On lap 37 of 94, Jones going to look for the race lead yet again. Remember, Austin won back at Glen, at Sebring. So he won at another Florida track. A lot of tracks from Florida were on the schedule this year. We had Daytona twice. We had Pensacola. We had Sebring. We've had Homestead. I believe that's it. So about 5 races total in the state of Florida. So Austin is, we would think, more of a road course ringer from his Sebring win. The man is from Sweden, as now he is passed for the race lead. Doing a pretty good job here tonight, I gotta say, as Hoffman and Deanna Jones battle for the race lead. Now this is technically a fuel mileage race. 94 laps on 2 stops is very, very difficult. You've got to kind of go 31 laps on your 2 stops. You got to go 32 on one of them. So whoever pits, I'd say from lap 63 on, will probably make it on 2 stops. Everybody else will have to come down again. Under 5 to go, just like we saw in the Truck Series. Fuel strategy will come into play, especially for the championship battle. And my cat is getting under my bed covers yet again. What a clown. Yeah, you're a clown. Goofball. Alex Gray into the race lead, as they continually to slowly catch the 9 of Tyler Merkel. Zach Rogers' back end damage not affecting him too much. They did not really have to rip it off. Actually, I think they did kind of rip it off, but he trails at the back of the field. Flickinger, Nico Tringali, Andrew Rich, Fitzwater as well. As we look through the rest of the field here, there's Jay Barker still in 31st, as Gardner sits in 26th. John Arndt has made a bit of a climb. He's up in 13th, and we saw him at the back of the field earlier tonight. Here's the main battle as the top 10 fight as they catch Tyler Merkel. Alex Gray leads. Suarez closing in as Hoffman is stuck on the high side. And as Grayson Acevedo catches the 46, Alex Gray has won at Kansas and the Daytona night race on the season. One of the favorites for the championship did not make the Final Four. This man is driven to 2 wins in an arguably underfunded race team. And he's looking to drive to a 3rd, so expect maybe Alex Gray to get a top quality ride. It's really going to be tough. A lot of teams have to be careful with who they pick, who they think is going to be a contender next season, because there have been about 7 multiple race winners. Actually, hang on. Let's see. We've had 24 25 different winners, did I say? 25 different winners so far this season. So, through 35 races, there have been 9 two-time winners, or 8 two-time winners, and there's 1 three-time winner, which is Johnny Gardner. So teams got to be careful who they take. But as Alex Gray and Grayson Ace Fado battle for this win, Hoffman and Suarez are battling for the championship. Hoffman sitting in third, Suarez starting to fall back through the field as Gray and Ace Fado continue to battle hard. Here comes Caleb Hoffman on the inside. Ace Fado going to hold on to the race lead. Halfway through the race here today at Homestead. Suarez still back now into the single file line as Hoffman battles Alex Gray for second place. As hometown driver Grayson Ace Fado. Ace Fado has won at Kentucky and Sonoma this season. Another driver that has failed to make the chase. In that number 5 car, just so much competition, just inconsistency on their team's part. It'll be really interesting who goes to what teams next year. Some teams may try and keep their drivers if they choose to stay. Grace and Ace Fado in the lead still. Caleb Hoffman second, Suarez fourth. The Chevy Ford rivalry has kind of died down since chase round number 2. However, it might be resurfacing in a bit here as they battle it out for a championship. Chevy had 10 drivers make the chase. Between them and Ford wrecking each other in the second round, that has been whittled down to just 1 car here in the Final Four versus 3 Fords. With Barker and Gardner so far in the back of the field, it's kind of probably come down to the 22 and the 14. Hoffman looking underneath the 5 of Ace Fado. And this is for the race lead. Caleb Hoffman will take it back as Suarez now looks for third on Oskin. It'll be 40 laps to go next time by at the start-finish line. And about another 10 laps from now to the second round, the green flag pit stops. As Hoffman and Ace Fado start to pull away a bit, Suarez will move up to third with James Shelley right behind him in fourth. But here comes Ace Fado back looking for that race lead. Ace Fado has to lift. Hoffman lifts a ton. This is going to allow Suarez to really close up. As we look at who's in this pack battling for what I guess would be a win is 15 cars right now. Mostly the ones up front in the top 5, top 8 or so have really been up here. Alex Gray has fallen way back now, all the way to 13th place. Mendez has worked his way back up to 12th. That's surprising. He was 19th. And now he sits in 12th place. So Mendez, strong car, not to be forgotten. Deanna Jones is up here still. As now Suarez and Hoffman battle Grayson Ace Vado. Hoffman gets to lead another lap. Remember, laps do not matter. Laps do not. Hoffman's the lead. And here comes and now here comes Michael Amato. Adam Rogers will stay out like he did last time. Suarez is down. Barker is down. He's way closer to Suarez than he was before. But Adam Rogers taking the race lead. William Brock sits behind him in second place. Once all the rest of these leaders come down pit road, we will be taking a little break and come back for the conclusion of the race. Let's see, are they all coming down? Yep, the 6 people that stayed out are all coming down as Hoffman and Shelley will battle for the lead coming out of pit road. We'll be right back, guys, once this field cycles around. Back here at Homestead on lap 66 of 94. We'll be coming to lap 67. It'll mark 28 laps to go. James Shelley is your race leader. Caleb Hoffman in second. Michael Amato is third. Alex Gray fourth. DJ Curtis fifth. John Arndt sixth. Adam Rogers seventh. Sorlin 8th, Nick Smith 9th, and Colin Denton 10th. There is Martin Suarez battling for 12th place at the tail end of this pack. They are technically in enough close range that they should be able to catch up. But Amato fights hard on current championship champion. Oh, that don't make sense. Current champion, championship contender Caleb Hoffman for 2nd place. But Hoffman fighting hard. He would like to get a win. Remember, he hasn't won this season, but that would be something to say the least, to have a champion without a win. As now he fights Alex Gray. Gray on the oldest tires with the guys up front here. Amato is on the newest ones. Even though it's only about a lap difference, that will come into play later in the run. Adam Rogers with the fresher tires than Amato is back here in 8th. He's got his work cut out for him, as does Martin Suarez. Now Suarez is in short, about 4 seconds behind Caleb Hoffman. But the more spots Hoffman starts losing here, the better this will work out for Suarez. As it looks like the win is going to come down to James Shelley and Michael Amato. They'll catch maybe Zach Rogers and Zach Flickinger before the race is over. But they'll hit the start-finish line. It'll be 24 laps to go. Alex Gray up to 3rd. Curtis moving up to 4th place over Caleb Hoffman. Sorry about that. Looking at lap times, Johnny Gardner actually has the best lap time of the race. 27.508. Looking at top 10 in times here. Amato's up here. Curtis is up here. But, you know, a lot of these guys that have been up front all day haven't been in the back of that draft. So Hoffman falls back to 5th. About a 2-second gap on him and Sorlin. Adam Rogers, Denton, and the rest of these guys trying to close up in the draft, but they got to stay single file while Hoffman and Gray battle it out for 4th place. Curtis sits up in 3rd. He's going to try and see if he can close in on Amato and Shelley. And it looks like he's doing that. He's running some pretty fast lap times in that 17 machine. So Curtis could be looking for what would be his 3rd win of the season. Curtis has won at Martinsville and New Hampshire, 2 flat tracks. But looking to win at a track that used to be flat, but isn't anymore. And if it was still flat, that would be pretty comical. He would have won at a half-mile, mile, and mile-and-a-half flat track. But that is not the case here at Homestead, which has up to from 18 to 20 degrees of banking. As Amato and James Shelley fight for the race lead, Hoffman is back up to 4th place. As Amato and Shelley fight for the race lead, this helps DJ Curtis close in on these two. $20 to go last time by. It'll be $19 to go this time by. As Amato takes the race lead away from James Shelley. By the way, if you're watching right now, I did remember to turn on my microphone this time. Sorry about not having it on last time. My apologies. But Amato leads the race. Shelley's not going anywhere. And DJ Curtis has closed up. It is a 3-horse race right now. All of these guys have won before in the season. Amato and Curtis would be looking for wins number 3. Shelley would be looking for win number 2. Amato has won on speedways before. If he could win here, this would bump him up into the Johnny Gardner speedway bracket. There are 3 brackets for these drivers. It helps their ratings at tracks, you know, for teams to see that, oh hey, this guy's won at a lot of intermediate tracks. This guy's won at a lot of road courses or super speedways. You know, teams will be looking for those guys. But right now, Shelley has won at Indianapolis, and Homestead would add to that total for him. And Curtis has won at a short track and a speedway, so this another speedway one would help him out. But as they sit in the top 3, Hoffman and Gray are slowly catching up. Not sure if Alex Gray can actually make this race to the end as they battle tightly here on back. It looks like Suarez will not have a shot at this. He's too far back right now. He needs a caution. Gardner has worked his way up to 20th place, but he has not been anywhere near the front all day. As Curtis looks to the inside of Amato for second place behind James Shelley. And it looks like Curtis will complete the pass. And now Amato looks right back under him for second again. So Curtis and Amato continue the battle for second. This allows Hoffman and others to close in. So Shelley leads as they catch Zach Rogers and Zach Flickinger. It looks like they might just catch up to those two. It's going to be really close. I think they will catch the 19, but I'm not positive about the 3. Shelley still leads here at Homestead. The top 5 has closed back up. Curtis up to second place. Amato third, Hoffman fourth, Alex Gray fifth. Hoffman's got this championship in the bag, just has to hit his marks. This time by 11 laps to go. And DJ Curtis is looking for this race lead. He wants to win one more time before the year's over. Amato, Hoffman, they're starting to trail a little bit back. It should be Amato who has the freshest tires of the top 5. And there he goes. There goes Curtis. One of the fastest cars on the racetrack. And he will take the race lead away from James Shelley coming to 9 to go. Curtis, Shelley, and Amato still very tight-knit in the top 3. Hoffman sits in 4th as Gray is slowly losing ground. Amato thought about making a move for 2nd, but he thinks otherwise. Shelley trying to find the way to get the right groove down and get a run back on DJ Curtis. Amato sits back in 30, starting to lose some ground. Hoffman, Gray doing the same thing. Question is, can Gray still make it on gas all the way? All the guys up front here should be able to do that. But DJ Curtis, with the late car, him, James Shelley, Amato, You know, it looked like it was going to be between Hoffman, Mendez, Deanna Jones. But your pit crew does wonders for you to get you up towards the front. The rest is in your hands to keep it up front. Curtis pulling away a bit from Shelley. Same cannot be said about Amato, keeping closely behind. And when does Amato decide to go for second and maybe go for the lead? It'll be 5 laps to go at the line this time. Gray and Hoffman are trailing slowly back off the top 3. As they catch the 19 of Zach Rogers, who has some back end damage. 5 to go that time by. Still going to wonder if Alex Gray does indeed come down pit road here or not. Curtis still leading. Alex Gray stays out. 4 laps to go in the season. They'll catch Zach Rogers here. Possibly off of 2 or right into. But here comes DJ Curtis coming up to the back of the 19. Into turn 3. He's looking a little low. 19 hanging on right now. Trying to maybe finish on the lead lap. But Curtis is pulled away from James Shelley. Ooh, and Curtis had to lift big time there into turn 1. Rogers is not making it easy on Curtis. These guys are racing for the lead with 3 to go. Curtis messes up again. That's going to allow Shelley to get to his inside as Alex Gray does come down pit road, coming to 2 to go. He cannot make it on fuel. Shelley leads that lap with 2 to go. Side-by-side battle. They can't get by the 19. And Curtis probably had this race won, but the lap down car of Zach Rogers is in his way. Coming to the white flag, Amato right on his back bumper. Here they go, white flag in the air. Amato shreds a ton of speed with that corner. Caleb Hoffman is looking like he's going to win this championship. Down the back straightaway, one more time at Homestead. Through turns 3 and 4, James Shelley will win at Homestead, and Caleb Hoffman will win the championship. A championship winner who didn't win a single race on the whole season really makes you rethink this bracket design. But the fans are loving it. A driver with no wins was not expected to do good here tonight, and he captures the championship. James Shelley, though, your race winner, gets his second win on the season. Michael Amato second. Curtis will come up short in third place, probably really steamed at the 19 of Zach Rogers. As Caleb Hoffman is your championship winner. He gets fourth. Peter Sainz fifth. Gray had to pit because he could not make it on fuel. Philip Goldberg, 6th. Colin Denton, 7th. Philip Parker got 8th. Johnny Gardner came up to finish 9th. Wow, I don't know where he came from. And John Arndt finishes off the season in 10th place. So that is it here from Homestead, Miami. Alex Gray will come home 41st. Looking at your rest of your contenders, Jay Barker, 31st. And Martin Suarez got 11th. Well, I hope you enjoyed the season. I sure did. Trucks probably not sure if trucks are coming back next year or not. But Cup Series definitely will be. And hopefully maybe on a better computer. Wink, wink. I'm recording this in the on June 5th right now. So you never know what happens in 8 months. That's all from today. And I will see you guys in the near future. Expect a highlight video for trucks and Cup with some music playing to it in the coming weeks. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys.